Melondius got to be more careful.
You can say what you want to say.
Alan Melondius got to be more careful.
We are definitely back.
I thought you said we're back.
Yeah, we back. I don't know. I be tripping.
I don't know why you keep saying that. They know we back.
We are.
We're talking.
Yeah, we live. 8121 Talk.
Yeah, we struggle to get back though.
Where we struggle to get back, that is purely your fault.
How's that my fault?
Because you be on some other stuff. You get distracted and then you...
I get distracted. It's more like you get distracted.
Got to be more careful.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going to say.
exactly.
No, I wasn't distracted. It's just sometimes things get a little difficult.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, on this podcast, we don't really have any shout outs or anything. Yeah. I mean, my cousin Will listened to it. He listened to it. He listened to the podcast. I mean, Moody is forever. Like
Listening.
even if I put something up that's saying this is coming,
Right.
he called me and get that conversation started ASAP.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he always listening,
right.
looking, watching.
Right. We missing.
Big ups to Moody.
Yeah. Big up to Moody, man. Big
Right.
up to Moody.
Right.
We missing the kids though.
Our kids.
No Chevette. I mean,
Well, Chevette said she was going to listen to it, but you have to remember, it was about Mama.
it was about Mama.
Yeah,
I got another reason.
and they be feeling some type of way about their grandma.
Okay, but I got another reason.
Mm-hmm.
They was coating. Chevette coating. That's why.
Wow, why you gotta put it out there like that?
Oh my God, man! People, grown men and women.
Right,
So
baby, she don't
what?
want people to know her business.
What you want people to know?
Not her business.
Oh my goodness, and you just like her.
Anyway.
What up, Chevette? What up, Chevette? We need your ears back on the podcast. So stop doing whatever you're doing.
Anyway, move on.
Okay. So what up? What have been up with you? Did I just say what have been? What's been up with you, man?
Work,
Work? Just work?
more work.
You tired?
I am.
You ready to go?
Yes,
Where?
Georgia.
We go to Georgia on the 19th. I guess we're going to look around for a few things, right?
Mm-hmm. And relax
And relax
by ourselves.
by ourselves, nobody else.
Right.
And we just going to sit in an Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
And what does B&B stand for? Bed and breakfast.
Air, bed, and breakfast.
Breakfast? I don't know about breakfast.
See, you always gotta call
I'm
me
sorry,
out.
but you left yourself
talk.
wide open for
let
that
me
one.
speak the way
okay.
that I speak.
So-
As you said, what, lazy?
So I'm going
I have a lazy talk or something.
I didn't say anything, and this is being recorded, and it's a witness. I did not say you got lazy talk. I didn't say that.
Then I'm talking about
If
previously.
I said it off
air.
mic, it don't count.
Whatever. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to tell
Go
you
ahead,
something.
go ahead.
Well, anyway, I was trying to change Airbnb into a verb. So we're going to be Airbnb in it.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
Is that us?
That's
Airbnb
us.
in it. All right.
Woo, woo.
Pull over that. Too fat. Ooh, ooh.
Uh-oh.
They can't see me dancing.
They can't
Ooh,
see
ooh.
you.
Pull over that. Too
They can't
fat.
see you.
Oh, man. So, usually we don't have any shout outs this time.
No.
Yeah, we fell off the game. I'm not going to blame it on you. We just fell off the game
Mm-hmm.
because I'm so busy trying to bring this thing to video that it's starting to overwhelm me
Mm-hmm.
like crazy.
Crazy.
Like, so between how are we going to situate this table? Where are we going to put the switcher? Where's the monitor going to be? And all this stuff. And then most importantly, go ahead. What'd you get ready to say?
How much new equipment have you bought between now and the last podcast that we
Got to
did?
be more careful.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so between doing all this stuff and all that, and then the last thing on the list,
Mm-hmm.
when we hooked up the cameras the other day and we were trying to see, yo, can we see it? Can we see here? I realized,
Mm.
that I'm 53 years old.
Okay.
17, like you said back in the day, you saw me walk by you in a net house on First Avenue. That kid that y'all saw,
Right.
gone.
Gone.
He is out of here. He's gone.
Well, we're gone too. The ones that saw you walk by are gone.
Yeah, but it was like, I thought somebody was in front of me.
You need to stop.
This is crazy.
Got to be more careful.
God,
Got to be more careful.
God, the mighty. That's what my Uncle Alfred used to say. God the mighty.
Got the mighty.
God the mighty.
Oh, my
we might
goodness.
have to use that. God the mighty. But anyway, let's move on.
Yep.
Balance. We ain't using no props today. We going straight into balance, right? Now, I was thinking with balance with me, it's pretty much the same thing. Stop and breathe, like from last week. Just stop and breathe. You know what I mean? That's my balance is pretty much that.
Is that what you was doing earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
So look how I spread my hands out. Like it's my gift to the world. Whenever you anxiety or stress or whatever is creeping in the door, stick your hands out like this. Come on. Stick your hands out like this. Don't hit that mic stand. Stick your hands,
Stick my hands
stick your hands
out.
like this and go. Woo sa.
Woo sigh.
Did I just steal that?
Yes, you did.
You know what I'm saying. though.
Anyway,
Anyhow, what's
Yeah.
your balance
well, I don't know.
this week? So you saying whenever you got overwhelmed, you know you can put your hands down.
Oh,
now.
I forgot. I
So,
still had them up.
when
Whenever-
when you got caught up in your work, I mean, what did you do?
Read my book.
Read your book.
Move away from the computer.
Yeah.
Read my book. Take a break.
What's the name of that one book we were listening to?
The First Lady by James Patterson.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we need to finish it.
Yeah, we need to finish it, especially since it's an audio book. It ain't like we reading it or something.
Right, but we listen to it when we lay down in the bed, and then I only have a good 10 minutes, and I'm out.
Yeah, that's something we got. Like my man used to say, yeah, about that.
I'm just saying.
You be out quick.
Eyes be tired, boss.
Eyes be tired. Oh, wow.
Eyes be tired, boss.
I don't like when people say that.
Okay.
Because I'm going to say something that you don't like, which is tomorrow, we're going to eat outside and we're going to call it
No, we're not.
you don't want me to say the word, do you?
Nope.
We're going to call it
A outside dinner,
a cookout.
a cookout, a barbecue,
I don't even know if cookout is safe.
a lunch,
A lunch, a dinner on the grass, dinner on the greens,
dinner on the green,
anything except
dining outside,
anything except
anything except that P word.
picnic.
Don't say that word.
Well, tell me why you don't like it. Let's educate everybody.
Because it means pick a N word.
Picnic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're saying possibly back in the day that this word could have been picnic
Something like that.
and the accent made it sound like picnic.
Right. While they was out there, doing what they do, the auctions, the hangings, they would bring baskets with
Okay.
food in it and their blankets, and they would spread their blankets out and eat their food and laugh and joke and watch the person being hung or, being auctioned off. So
Okay.
no, we will not use that word.
Okay.
That word will not be named among us.
Namest.
Yes.
Did you just put that together?
No.
Is it biblical?
My pastor used to say that all the time.
I figured that. Biblical.
Right.
That word will not be namest
Among us.
among us.
That's right.
Okay, well, all right. So we got a little sidetracked.
Yeah.
This is our joint. We can do what
Right,
we want to
right.
do. We got a little sidetracked, but you saying reading was your escape.
Yeah, reading. Definitely reading.
And my escape was breathe.
Breathing. With your hands out.
So, hey, we putting that out in the world. Everybody that's 53 years old, especially class of 1986, Selma High School, Selma, Alabama.
Selma High Saints.
When you get caught up in the caught up, breathe and read.
And read.
Breathe and read.
Reading is good.
That helps.
Yes, it does.
Okay. You ready
Takes
for
you
that?
away like Calgon.
Like what?
Calgon.
You mean like the whole commercial?
Yeah. Calgon take me away. Reading takes you
won't
away.
say pick, but you'll say Calgon.
Anyway, So come on, let's move on to what we're talking about tonight because I'm very excited to have this discussion
What,
with you.
You ain't got nothing to get off?
Oh.
Oh, you forgot about that.
Man, I'm just ready to talk about the thingy.
It's coming. It's coming. Let me get you hyped up. You ready? And in this corner, we have Elondius. And in this corner, we have Al.
Say my name again.
It's Al Nelandius.
Got you. So, do you have something to get off your chest?
Not really.
No?
No.
I got a lot of stuff.
Right. Play that timer.
No. I got the buttons over here. I'm not playing with. Come on, man. Back up off me, man. So, okay. So you want to put me on a timer? Let's go.
Go ahead.
I don't have to start until it dings.
No. You're supposed to start when it's going, and then when it dings, you're finished.
Okay. That's not right. Okay, let me start over there. Ready?
Yeah.
So what I have to get off, right, is it's going back to something we talked about before, which is support. It's support and people understanding that you might not have all the answers, but you're trying.
Right.
Right. And I get so bothered. I wouldn't say upset, but I get so bothered when that's not enough time. That's not enough time. Okay, here we go. So I get so bothered when you talk to somebody, yo, podcast is dope, whatever. And then they go and post somebody else stuff.
Got to be more careful.
That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. Like,
Okay.
what? Like, you serious? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm taking you off the Christmas list. Am I petty? Am I Richard Petty?
Richard Petty.
Am I Petty Pendergrass?
Petty Pendergrass.
Let me hear one of yours. Petty
Betty.
Betty. I got one for you.
Petty LaBelle.
Petty LaBelle is the greatest one. Right. Richard Peddington. I'm petty. You're trying to associate that name with a star. It's not. It just sounds good. Richard Peddington.
Okay.
But yeah, but things like that. It's always going to be support, because for so many years, I always tried. And sometimes I took people along with me that I knew they didn't know what they was doing, but it was for company, right? So whenever they ventured off into whatever they were doing,
You supported them.
I supported it, right?
Right.
But for some reason, I think people just think I probably don't need it. Like I'm some cocky guy that says whatever I do is going to work.
Right.
No, it's not going to work.
They don't even know.
I'm off that.
Okay.
I am off that. My mother used to say that. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Okay. Subject. What's the subject?
Education.
Education. I got a question for you. Do you need education to be successful?
Do you want me to answer it right now?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Now, we're going to do this like we are in the bedroom when it's just us.
Right.
So take the gloves off this time.
Okay.
So you don't think you need education to be successful. Why?
No, I think it depends on the person. It depends on where you're at in life. So if you had asked 16-year-old, 17-year-old Elondius if education was needed to be successful, she would have said yes,
Okay.
because that's all she was thinking about.
Okay.
Education was the number one priority, the number one goal, good grades, everything. And then after she graduated, not so much. But then if you would ask Elondius when she was like 21, 22, she probably still would have said education was needed. But if you ask me now, I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no.
I'm saying no.
But are you saying that there are situations in your life that moved you away from that thought process? Or are you saying that you just grew up and realized, I don't need that?
Well, there were situations that moved me away from it, but after getting moved from it, well, I'm not going to say that moved me away from thinking that it was important, but moved me away from completing my education.
Right.
So
Completing meaning college.
right.
Okay.
But I guess I could have, because there's plenty of people. I have plenty of friends, battle buddies, like that they got their degrees
While they were in the military.
while they were in the military.
Right.
So maybe I wasn't focused enough on trying to, get my degree while I was in the military, but
Could be.
I don't know.
Well, let me ask you another question, since that's where you stopping at right there at, which is, you at the age you are now, do you ever have those moments? You know me, I like to use the analogy of you sitting on a toilet, which I think is one of the most isolated places on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you're rolling your eyes right now, but it's an isolated place. Right?
Okay.
So you're sitting there. You ever have that thought that goes through your mind, like, man, I should have went to school.
I do.
So, but if you've already made your mind up to where it's not necessary and everything, why are you still thinking that?
I don't know, because then it's more like, okay, I should have went to school just for one, to get that experience, that college experience. Because if I had went to college, I was going to pledge
Pledge what?
Delta Sigma Theta.
Okay.
And, just to have that experience of being out away from home, being amongst your peers and everything like that. So the college experience would have been nice. And then another reason why is because just for my own self-acknowledgement, or I guess you would say pride,
Okay.
just to say that I did this,
Right.
I know I can do it. And then I did it.
Okay.
So that's one. Those are some of the reasons. And also because like Shakaya, the baby, she doesn't have a college degree, but she does have some
Credits?
college. And she also has a lot of certifications.
Okay.
And then Chevette has a certification.
Okay.
But then Chevette is of the mindset sometimes that she don't need school.
Right.
And then the granddaughter, the oldest one, ZMR. Ooh, I got to sneeze.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry
You
about
got that out?
Ooh, yeah, excuse me, people.
All right.
And then ZMR, so she wishy-washy about
Okay.
going to school. But right now, I don't think she wants to.
Right. She might not see it right now.
Right. But, I mean, she's doing really well in her career field.
Yes.
And she's
Yeah.
well on her way to opening her own salon.
Right.
So, but just so that I can be an example for my grandkids and my great grandkids that are coming on up and everything. So those are the reasons why sometimes I was like, dang, I should have finished school. And then other times I'm like, I don't need school. And then
But what do you actually believe?
I believe both. Does that make
So
sense?
you 50-50. It's
Yeah.
not like you don't think you need school.
Well, it's
Because
not.
you went from a practical standpoint, which is, life took over. And you got to do what you got to do. But then you also talked about what's inside of you and pride, right? So that's 50-50. You kind of up in the air is what you're
right.
saying.
And it's not that I need it. It's that I should have done it.
Right.
Not needed because, I did 20 plus years in the military. So,
Right.
I
okay?
made it to the rank of senior non-commissioned officer. So I did get that.
Okay.
And then the job that I have now is not like it's a
It's not like they give me $3 an hour.
right.
Right. So, yeah. So I get it.
Yeah.
But, in your case, you're saying that because life, the path you followed in life, all the time, the turns you make might not have been solely dictated by you just it's happenstance. You did what you had to do.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I hear about people getting degrees in the military.
Mm-hmm.
The military that I was in, I'm out on a ship.
Right.
So, this is 88.
Yeah. And so there was no internet. So
no
there was no
internet.
online.
Yeah. So that when they said it to us, it was so non-practical. Like,
Right.
How are we going to do that?
Especially your career field.
Right. Engineering, which they always wanted you down in the engine room.
Right.
So it's like, okay, basically what I heard they were doing the work is closed up and mailed off to somewhere. And then it's mailed back.
Correspondence courses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe it would have been easier to get a degree that way. I don't know. I don't know. But with me, I don't believe a degree is absolutely necessary for success, for a happy life, for any of it. But I'm kind of like you where there's other things. For instance, on my side of the fence, I went to the military like you.
Right.
But you did 20 plus. I did the one enlistment and got up out of there.
One and done.
One and done.
Right.
But here's the thing though. A lot of jobs. I kind of use what the Navy taught me to survive.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? I took what the Navy, they showed me how to use this, how to fix this,
Right.
what is this? And that's how I survived. Now, I wouldn't say like I made the greatest living, but I wasn't messed up in the game either.
Right. You did good.
Yeah, I was okay.
Yeah.
And so I needed that experience to mature up to be able to go to school.
Right.
Right? Because I wasn't seeing it back then. Now, if we went back to
Because you were actually in school before you joined the Navy.
yes,
Right.
and I left,
Right.
and went to the Navy, but I left. And like when I think about when I go back to Selma High School, right? I didn't care.
Right. Now, when you were in school before you went to the Navy, were you focused on your
Not at all.
education
Not at
or
all.
was it more of a social thing for
It
you?
was social. It
Right.
was social. I mean, see, at Selma High, I didn't commit to any academic things because what interested me it wasn't what they were teaching.
Right.
I've always been like one of those people that's way out. Like I'm not way out. That's not a good word. I'm always into whatever. Like if you saying it's right here in the right hand, I'm looking left.
Right.
I've always been like that.
Right.
And then I noticed in the early years that I could pass without applying any pressure. So I just kept doing it like that. I
Right.
kept doing it like, why am I doing this homework? Or I remember I had a teacher that what was it, term paper we did? I did Gulliver's Travels. You remember the bookstore that used to be in the mall?
Yeah.
I went there and I bought, was it Cliff Notes?
Cliff Notes.
Read it and wrote the term paper. That was my phone? Okay. And wrote the term paper. And when the teacher read it, I think it was Miss Harris. And she basically told me, if you don't get this
Right.
off my table and take it back and read that book, she saw it right away.
Of course.
But that was the example. So when of how I saw things, and then when people were talking about going to college, I wasn't really in that conversation. Like I just had this whole, I'm going to be the greatest hip hop producer / DJ, whatever I could do with hip hop, I'm going to do that. So I didn't really care.
Right.
Job after job after job. And I think that I convinced myself that the other wasn't needed, the degree, until around 2011. And I got let go from a job for something that wasn't my fault. And I said, you know what? I can't be that easily disposed of. Let me tighten this up.
Okay.
So I went to school.
Okay. So you went to school because you felt that it would get you further or higher in your employment field.
That's the matrix behind it. That's what I told myself.
Right.
But something you mentioned earlier, pride.
Pride.
It was bubbling up on the low and I was starting to identify what it felt like. See, I got 3 things and we've talked about this before, from the top to the bottom. The top is respect. The middle one, number 2, is influence, being a role model.
Right.
What's the word?
Inspiration.
Inspiration, right? And then number 3, that's the pride, right? But that's the way mine is situated. It might be different for someone else.
Right.
But what I mean by respect, I think that any room I walk into, I'm supposed to be there.
Right.
You're not going to put me out because I don't know, or you think I don't know, or you're treating me less because you think I don't know, right?
Right. And that's pitiful that some people think you have to have a piece of paper
Right.
to show that you do know.
Right.
When you know those same things without having a piece of paper.
But then there's that other thing called validation.
Exactly.
Right? You credentials, validation. Like, you know, I could be just as smart as Joe Blow, but Joe Blow has a master's or whatever degree in something, and I don't. So the way society works is they tend to listen to Joe Blow.
Right. And I get that sometimes.
Right.
And then I, be like, what? I don't care. Because I'm just as smart, if not smarter, than that person. Just because they have a degree.
But I do care.
Doesn't mean that they're, smarter than me. But I'm saying that's what I tell myself. I don't care. But I do care too. Because sometimes I'm like, they think that I'm dumb because I don't have a degree.
Right.
It's not because I couldn't do it. It's because I chose not to do it.
You chose not to do it.
But then, and then that's the times when I'm like, let me go on and get this degree.
And do this, right. I mean.
Let me take these 2 classes.
That pride thing, and we were talking about this the other day off the microphone. It's something else that's within that, or I don't know if it's within the third one, which is, pride. Pride is my number 3. Respect. I have to take it to a cultural thing, a race thing.
Right.
And we talked about this the other day. You have historical figures like, Martin Luther King, and many people before him.
And even before him.
And many people before him, they died.
Right.
They sacrificed.
Right.
So we could sit up in a classroom and be equally educated or equally treated as, equal as we're peers. We're not beneath you.
Right.
Right. And some of us are smarter than you. Some of us are not. But at least we need to be in the race to be able to show that. So I also look at that also, but it's like, I have to take advantage of that.
Right. And
the sacrifices.
Yeah. And like when we spoke about that before, I was telling you, I didn't even think about it that way. I didn't think about the fact that our ancestors, they fought, they marched, they died, they got incarcerated, all that, just for us to have the right to attain the education, because you got to remember, it was illegal for us to read.
It was once forbidden for us to read. And then if you fast forward, which you think about it, both of us, we're both 53 years old, right? So we were born in 1968.
Right.
Do you realize that just a few short years before that, maybe 64, 63, there was the National Guard escorting a young Black woman like yourself into a college.
Right.
And white people were standing out there spitting and calling her names.
Right. So I didn't even think about that aspect of it when I was saying, hey, it's not needed. But when you think about it like that, it's like, how could you not go and attain a higher education when so many before us have laid their lives on the line? And for us to be able to do it.
And like people say all the time, it's like we're standing on their shoulders.
Right.
But you could at least stand on their shoulders with no shoes on. Don't stand on the mother with boots on and hurt them. You know what I'm saying?
And then when you say that, that kind of makes me feel bad, because I'm like, I had every opportunity to go to school. I could have went to school free while I was in the military. And I did. I took some courses.
Well,
I didn't finish it.
Let's not forget another thing. You see, you did something for 20 plus years. We couldn't do that. You see, the first time that we actually got into melee, so to speak, was the Civil War. And you've seen many movies, probably read stuff, historical stuff, how we were treated. Sometimes we out there fighting with no boots on.
Right.
So you stood on their shoulders in the military. You just said, I made senior NCO.
Right.
Right. So you probably had some, racism, backlash here and there, but the opportunity was given to you and you took advantage of it. You made a career out of it. You retired at it, and you're going to get that paper for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
The rest of my life.
But the point that I'm trying to make is there were many sacrifices done across the board, but in this case, we're talking about education.
Right.
So that sacrifice, it always gnawed at me like, wait a minute, like my mother didn't do it. You know what I mean?
She started.
And it's like, then when you look around at the people that I grew up with, you know, like Bear, Kilroy, all these people out on the corner, Uncle Alfred, Aunt Della, my grandmother, you know, Grandma Penny, and all this stuff. They didn't. They didn't finish high school.
Right.
Well, Kilroy did. He got a degree.
Right.
But then my Uncle Ronnie, he got a degree at Bishop College in Texas. So I'm sitting there saying, I have to get on that level or above it.
Right.
Just to show that whatever you did prior to me, it wasn't in vain.
Right.
My mother put the food on the table. She sacrificed. We got that paper on Jeff Davis. You know what I'm talking about, right? We got them things. Make sure it wasn't for nothing.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I might not be a millionaire. I might not be Elon Musk or what's the guy that owns Amazon or whatever his name is. I might not be him, but you will not take what I earned away from me, which is education.
Right. And what is your level of education?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay. You don't want to toot your own horn right now?
I'll put it this way. I got a nice little stat for you, though.
Okay.
Out of all the black people in America, only 3.9% have this level.
That's crazy.
I'm okay with that. Can I get a round of applause?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's all right.
Yep, it is.
Right?
It is.
It doesn't mean $1 million.
Right.
Now, inspiration, right? So I actually got thrown off and I went down to pride first and what the pride is about. But in the middle, number 2, that sits between 1 and 3. Number 2 is inspiration. What do I mean by that? Right? So what I mean by that is one of my sons, out of 4, none of them have went to college. One made an attempt, and that was Darrell, right? That's fine.
One of them still in school.
One of them still in school, but he
So,
you know,
I'm just saying, I just want to clarify that.
Right. He's 13.
Right.
But with that being said, Darrell attempted. Wasn't for him. He got up out of it. But I am a firm believer of you can always change.
Right.
So where does the inspiration come in at? It comes in right down the middle. It comes right down the middle as far as when you're trying to go back to school, which we're going to discuss that in a minute, especially when you're older, it could be a little daunting. But where I come in at with those boys is each and every one of them could turn and say, he did it.
Right.
And he went back after he did everything except school. He went back and did it.
Right.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
Right. He can do it. How you feel about that?
I agree with that. That's why, and more than likely, I'm going to go ahead and, knock out these few classes that I have left to get this degree.
Right.
Because I want, the same way with my children, I want them to be able to say, when they get older and they feel like, well, dang, maybe I do want to go back to school.
Right.
Then they can say, Mom did it.
Right.
And she did it at 53.
Right.
So why can't I do it at 35 or 40 or whatever?
Right.
Yeah. So I get that with the inspiration.
That inspirational aspect, doing it through action is just as important as our ancestors talking about what they wanted to happen.
Right. Let your actions speak for you.
Yeah. And your child could say, I don't, it happened to me. Right. I don't want to go into this, but I will. You see, when I was at Westside, it was at Selma High, my dad went back to college. He went to University of Montevallo. It was nothing personal as far as our interaction and why am I here? What's your degree? But I went there a few times with him, rode up to Montevallo. I sat in a car and I waited. Fast forward, years and years later, 2011, exactly, I'm walking down the street and I said, I'm going to go register at this school.
Right.
And I went to this school and I'm standing in line and literally it's in the gym. People are in front of me popping gum, behind me on the cell phone. It was so kiddie. And I'm saying, Al, get the hell out of here.
Right.
You too old for this.
You too old for this.
But what stuck into my mind was your dad went back at a certain age. If he did it, I could do it.
Right.
And that's what kept me there.
Right.
In the gym. And things unfolded after that, but it got better. But that moment of me being the age I was and looking at 18 and 19-year-olds, and everybody's ha 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 and jumping around and playing. It was like, whoa, it was reality. I was ashamed. I was ashamed because if somebody would have said to me, what you been doing your life over? What, you know what I'm saying? What have you been doing?
Living life.
It was embarrassing.
Taking care of a family. But it takes a lot of strength.
Oh, yeah.
Determination.
Oh, yeah.
Courage.
Say again.
Courage. To go back to school when you're older.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had a friend that passed away from cancer. His name was Burnell. You know, Burnell, amazing guy, man. You know, I mean, he passed away before he turned 20. Well, he had just turned 21. When I first saw him in class, I was hiding. You know what I mean? I'm sitting back in the corner. I'm old school. You know, these cats are young. First semester, second semester of college. And it's like, whoa. You know what I mean? And he started talking to me. And then we started talking on the phone. And he had told me one time that if I'm not in class, it don't feel right. And ironically, I was thinking that too. If no man wasn't in here, it'd be kind of weird.
Right.
But at that point, I started to look at things like, yo, you an inspiration.
Right.
To the kids that are in here. Not just to your kids, but to the people that are in here.
Right.
And I became okay with them approaching me like old school in class.
Right.
But it's okay because I did it. I went past that, then past that, then past that. Right? So it was like, whoa, okay. It was tough in the moment. And, and with my kids, inspiration again, those are the things we can talk about. Right. Because I'm weird like that. You're an Aquarius too. Let's give it up for Aquariuses.
Aquarius.
You're Aquarius like that too. So we have a problem. We have a problem staying in the now. Our minds like to venture out.
All over the place.
Right. So imagine me sitting up in the class, second semester, I'm taking typography. And then my mind goes, wonder what it's going to be like to walk across that stage. Torture. Because that's the way my mind is set up. But I had to, what's the balance? Relax, one day at a time, one quiz at a time, one test at a time, 1 week at a time, one semester at a time, and just go. Stop counting your credits because I would get my paper.
Right.
Okay, I need 45 more
Yeah,
credits.
I could see that.
It became tough. You know what I mean? But military, man, inspiration also because at this point, you spoke of ZMR. So imagine if she said, you know what, I don't like school, but I want to go to military. What shoulders can she stand on? Yours. Right. She could look around and say, Nana did it. And she made a career out of it. She took care of families. When I was born, was she born on a military base?
She was born in the military town.
Okay. While you were in?
Yes, I was stationed at Fort Gordon.
That opportunity, the military, took care of a lot of folks.
Yeah, it did.
Including yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So that's nothing to sneeze at either. And it's legitimate on the other side to say, hey, you might not have to go to school, right? Because I think motivation, drive, determination, persistence, if you got those, you might not need to sit in a classroom. You feel me?
Right. So it wasn't a formal education, but it was an informal education.
It's education.
Because it was definitely an education.
Yeah, it's definitely an education in the sense that, you know, even from my little time in the military, one of the main things I learned within the first 7-8 weeks of being in the military was people. I didn't realize the different personalities and the different cultural things that were myth, right? Like I could look at it and say, here go this white guy. I know they act like this, right? But then in some cases, when I got close up on them, I said, they do act like this. Then some cases, they don't act like this. Then I moved on to, well, it's people. Like
It's
they're
people.
good people, bad people.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep,
Right.
yep.
So yeah, it is an informal education, but it is a whopping education.
Yeah, because the job that I have now is because of the informal education that I earned in the
Right.
military. So
Right. I mean, yeah. You told me a story about a young lady. Did she drop her grenade?
yes.
What- Let's imagine that's a classroom. What did you learn right there? What did you learn?
Learn to get down
That is
when she dropped the grenade.
practical education. Drop grenade, get down.
Get down.
No book.
Get out of
Drop
the area
grenade,
as
get
fast
down.
as you can and get down.
Okay. You also told me about another soldier that was, I'm from the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that story. You ain't got to use a name. Just tell me that story.
I couldn't use her name anyway because I don't
You
even
don't
remember
remember.
it. But when we went to Iraq in 03
Okay.
for OIF 1,
What?
OIF 1, Operation Iraqi Freedom,
Okay.
the
Gotcha.
first deployment,
Gotcha.
first rotation. We was in Kuwait before we even got to Iraq. So you go to Kuwait to train up to get acclimated
Mm-hmm.
to the weather and everything before you go into the
Okay.
battle zone,
Right.
the combat zone. So we all sitting around, it's after duty. If you want to say that, because when you're deployed, it's always on duty, but we had downtime. So we sitting around in the tents trying to be cool because it was hot.
Right.
And we hear this pow, pow, pow,
Gunshots.
So we're thinking that we're being attacked.
Uh-huh.
So immediately we have to go into the correct posture
Right.
for the attack. So that means grabbing your weapon, your NBC
Right,
gear,
right,
going out into
right.
your fighting positions or what have you,
Right.
and putting everything on.
Okay.
And myself, thought about it before we got there. How am I going to react if it goes down? How am I going to react?
Right.
But my training kicked in. So I did
Right.
what I had to do. Had my mask on, clear seal, everything,
Informal classroom.
Lock and load.
Informal classroom.
ready to go.
Informal classroom.
Right. My hand on the
Right.
on the knob to rotate from safe to semi.
Okay.
But Miss,
Whoever her
I'm
name
from
was.
Chicago. I was in the game. I go hard in these streets. She running around like a chicken with her head cut off, talking about they shooting. Oh my God, they shooting at us.
Oh my goodness.
So it was like,
So, okay, stop right there. That was a lesson.
right.
That was a form of education.
It was.
Me, what I would have got right there,
Mm-hmm.
the loudest one
Mm-hmm.
got the smallest bite.
Yeah. Sometimes
how-
it's like that.
How they say it? The dog with the biggest bark
Mm-hmm.
got the smallest bite.
The loudest bark or whatever.
Loudest, whatever
Yeah,
that is.
whatever.
But that's a lesson.
Right.
And then you can move on in life and totally apply that.
Mm-hmm.
You can apply that. And that's what I mean. Like the military is informal education. In some cases, it was formal because you had your, what do you call it? AIT.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of classroom things. I mean,
Yeah.
we went to school for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it was formal, but it was more of,
Yeah.
I guess, learning about life experiences and how to lead
Right.
real life human beings
And don't forget.
and how to take care
And
of
don't
them.
forget. Because I'm looking at a few.
Mm-hmm.
How many certifications, round up, how many certifications you think you got in the Army? A lot.
Oh, I can't even begin
Exactly.
to tell you how many.
Because I'm looking at what? Right here on the wall. That's 5.
Right. And then don't forget my I Love Me book that has some everything
A ton
in
of
it.
stuff. I'm telling you, people, it's a ton of stuff in there.
Right.
So,
I mean, because I went to contracting officer course. I went to unit prevention
Right,
leader,
right. Education.
air load planner,
Education.
hazmat, and getting hazmat certified because you did it.
Right.
Getting hazmat certified is not easy.
Education. And,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because the difference is with the Army, you are getting qualified, certified, educated in areas where you definitely gonna use it.
Yes.
Definitely. The college?
Civilian side.
The civilian side?
Right.
College?
You're going to use some of it?
Right. Because your first 2 semesters, you're taking general courses.
Right.
Right.
Just those core
And
classes.
most people are like, Why I don't want to do this. I want to get down to whatever I'm here for. I want to dissect frogs. Well, not yet. Right. So, and then some people go to school for 2 years and they get to their junior year and haven't even declared a major yet.
Right.
Do you want it? Do you want the degree? It has to be there.
Right. So
if not, it's a waste of time.
Right. So, so I guess it, like I said at the beginning, it just depends on where you're at in life,
right,
who you are,
right,
and the reasons why you want to attain secondary education.
So we both agree that, pride, inspiration, and respect really, they mean a lot.
Right.
Especially to us as Black people. Let's keep it a buck. Like, to us as Black, it means a lot. Right? And then outside of that, you got, like I said, you got, pride, inspiration, respect. You got those three. But then outside of that, right? Can you survive without a degree?
Yes.
Can you make a good living without a degree?
Yes.
Now, like I was talking to my man about this, will the degree enhance your survival or making more money?
It can.
It can. Right. And that's what always is stuck in my head, because it comes to a point where it's like, okay, regardless if you have the degree, you still have to have push.
Yes.
Determination.
Yes.
You still have to have persistence, because you can have a piece of paper.
Dedication, commitment.
I got 2, 3 on the wall.
Right. You still have to have all that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that, then you're not going to get the degree.
It's worthless.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, those are some things to think about, but definitely before we get out of here, we coming up on an hour right now.
All right.
So, but before we get out of here, I would like to say, and you could have a closing statement with this if you want to. I definitely don't feel you need a degree to make it, but I do believe you need to know what you need to do or want to do.
Yes.
If I want to be a garbage can picker-upper, you better figure out how to be a garbage can picker-upper, and what's going to separate you from the next garbage can picker-upper. Right. Right? And how do I excel right here?
Right.
If you want to go to school for it, if you think that's going to make you excel at picking up garbage, then so be it. But I think it's a choice.
Definitely a choice.
And I don't think it's healthy to go down the line and say, I got this job and I'm not doing so well. I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I think at a certain point, you should kind of relax on that a little bit and kind of count the blessings.
Right.
Like in your case, you said a few more credits, get your degree. Right. So, but I wouldn't let that govern me.
Right.
Right. Because you got so many other things that you could be so proud of. I mean, we sitting in one. Right. Right. A lot of people don't get a chance to buy their own home, especially at this price.
Okay, go ahead.
And things to that nature. You bougie. You're a little bougie.
I'm ghetto bougie.
Right. But there's certain things, well, in my book, there's certain things that make you think you're bougie. Going without is absent. When was the last time you saw something in the store and you were like, man, I gotta wait to this is August, I gotta wait to October and save up. When the last time you did that?
It's been a while. I'm blessed.
Yeah. So, and I don't mean bougie in a negative way.
Right.
You've done well.
Okay.
So unless you just want to grab all the nuts from under the tree and say, I want a degree and I want to retire from the military, that's fine too. But I'm saying don't frown at one.
Right. And
be like, oh, I should have did this. I wouldn't do that.
No, I'm good.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you kind of covered it all.
Yeah, I did a lot of talking.
So with that said, I guess what I just want to say, I just invite our listeners to leave us a comment and tell us how they feel. Do they think education is a must, a requirement, or what do they feel about the education? Right.
And before we leave, let's do something that I said I wasn't going to do, which is let's go credential wise. You, retired from the military.
Yes.
You spent 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
You made it to senior NCO.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I did okay.
Talk about me. What I got?
Well, so I can say what degree you have?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay, so you have your master's in science.
Master of Science. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think that's well.
Yeah,
And then you still got, all your life experience.
that too. Yeah, that too. And the reason I chose to go to pursue a master's degree in instructional design is purely related to what we're doing now. It has nothing to do with a job. It has everything for me to be able to articulate what I'm saying in a way that you can follow me.
To really fulfill
Right.
what your creative side, what you
Right,
have inside
right.
of you. So what you see in your mind, what you're thinking, whatever, now you know how to, like you said, articulate it so everybody else can see it too.
I can make it kinetic.
Right.
Now it's actually physically moving
Right.
instead of just thinking about it. You know what I mean?
And they can see it and they can learn from it.
Right. Might not mean $1 million. I'll take it. I'll take $1 million.
Of course, we'll take
But
it.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I went. So
Right.
it's not like we sitting here and two people that didn't do either thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got a master's degree. You retired from the military.
Mm-hmm.
We okay.
Yeah, we're okay. We good.
okay. So it ain't like we sitting here talking out of experience or
Right.
nothing. I've been on both sides. I went to the military and I did the school thing.
Mm-hmm.
You were better than me at school. You were way better than me at school.
Only because you didn't apply yourself.
I didn't apply myself, but you did. So, like somebody say, well, you only won the game because their star athlete was hurt. So okay, I came to play.
Right.
I ain't got no time for that.
Right.
So you did your thing. What were you in high school? Theta Bi Booty. What was that thing? What was it?
Mu Alpha Theta.
Mu Alpha Theta, which means?
It's a math fraternities, math club, whatever you want to call it.
Right. So you did your thing. I didn't apply myself. I even sometimes when we talk, which we haven't had a chance to do on this show, historical stuff, historical and, some debunking some of this stuff that obviously lies and are detrimental to our culture. I talk about stuff like that. And sometimes you let it come out like, yo, you smart. You know that. Not really. Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, I just read it and I paid attention to it. You know what I'm saying? You haven't had a reason. It doesn't interest you. It doesn't interest you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Peace out.
Peace out. Is that showing our age?
Nah.
Oh, okay. All right then. Peace out.
Yeah. So, all right, we catch you on the next one. We're going to do this church thing on the next one. We jumping right in the middle of the role of the church in the Black community.
There we go.
Not the community, not the white community. This ain't nothing against them. I'm talking about the role of the church in our community, where it was versus where it is now.
Okay.
And do we think it's at a good place now?
8121 Talk.
It's Al Melondius. Got to be more careful.
You can say what you want to say.
Al Melondius. Got to be more careful.